Over the last 5 years, there's been a significant focus on the teaching of sustainability as we move into the integration of sustainability into the Australian curriculum. Part of the research that we did in the lead up to the Climate Clever Energy Savers program was to look at world's best practice for teaching sustainability, and we did a research project both based in Australia and looking at overseas practice. Climate Clever Energy Savers involves problem-based learning. That allows young people to explore a whole range of different avenues and options to seek the best solution. It can be challenging because there's no one solution that is right for every situation, and kids need to think about that in terms of what's the best solution for their particular context. It involves them thinking and scoping out a plan or an idea, planning what sort of actions they'll take, seeking other people's ideas and opinions on that plan, and then putting that into place. When you see some of the great projects that have been undertaken by students through this program, you'll see that how powerful that action learning, that problem-based learning can be for our young people.
I've been involved with the Climate Clever program for 4 years now, and it's a fantastic program. It's one of those inspirational things when you get to see kids transform from a point of not knowing what to do about the environment to actually becoming the agents of change. Teachers get so much learning, and the collaborative process where students and teachers are working together to form real solutions is just fantastic.
The Sustainability Action Process, making the case for change, exploring energy, assessing the current situation through a school energy audit, investigating concepts and ideas relating to energy and its sustainable use, stating the case for what needs to change in the school and why.
What's your name? Holly, that's right. Holly, come and stand over here. You're going to be our coal-fired power station. So I want you, when I tell you to, I want you to just do this. And this is like a turbine that's creating all the electricity, right? And in order to feed Holly a coal-fired power station, we need someone to feed her coal. Who wants to feed her some coal? You want to come up here? What's your name?
Emily.
Emily. You want to stand on that side of Holly, Emily? And when I say you're going to shovel all the coal into Holly, and she's going to turn it into electricity. Now, it's great that she's got all this electricity, but we need to get it out to the houses. So, who else? You want to come up and have a go? What's your name?
George.
George. All right, George, you're going to be what we call the poles and wires. So you're going to put your hand on Holly's shoulder, and you're going to stand out like this.
Okay.
And you're the poles and wires that bring the electricity from the power station to someone's house. Okay. And last of all, of course, we need something to do with the electricity. Do you want to come up here? So you're going to stand here, and you're going to go like this. And you're the light globe at the end. Right? So should we give it a go? You want to start shoveling? That's it, start generating the power, that's right. And the power goes through here and finally gets to the end and lights up the light. And you can see it takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of work, lots and lots of coal, lots of moving parts, and it gets a bit tiring after a while.
Yes.
And all that work and all that energy puts a lot of smoke and a lot of pollution into the sky, all for just this one little light globe.
Boom, and they will have to stop and fill up. So if you went from here to Sydney, you'd probably have to stop about 10 times.
We have these mini solar panels and I just connected it to this mini generator. If I put my hand over the solar panel, I flip it over, it will stop.
That's looking at cost. It's gone up pretty quick. Just push on the blue mode
Yes,
button.
I can.
Energy. Look at that energy already.
Okay.
I found that the students responded to the Climate Clever Energy Savers program very positively. They were highly engaged and were really interested in the program that we were using. The students enjoyed the energy audit immensely because I think that they were surprised by the results. They spent some time wandering around the school looking at different areas so that they were, by the end of it, they really understood exactly how the school used energy in every single way, in every single area. And so, and they were quite surprised with how much energy a school, even as small as ours, uses on a day-by-day basis.
I'd highly recommend this program to other schools. It's been fantastic for us. There were lots of things that you think you know, but until you've actually got down to the nitty-gritty of, especially with the audits, that was the baseline information that we were able to use to show our children where the energy was being wasted, I suppose you could say, and they were able to see what a difference it could make. And of course this translates into information that they take home to their families.
Defining the scope for action. Generating ideas and exploring options for change. Identifying available resources and constraints. Selecting ideas for action.
There's good reasons to change what we're doing. So how do we do it? The first thing we do, and what we're going to do today, is we're going to do an energy audit. How much does your school pay a month for electricity? Air conditioning or heating your hot water? And lights. That's where you can save money. That's the place to try and save money. You guys, in groups of 5, are going to go around and everyone's going to have an iPad and you're going to start entering data. What have you seen from the data that you've collected so far? How much energy does it say it uses? Look on your data frame. 600. Is that a lot? Is that a lot, you reckon?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's on all the time. You don't switch it off in the school holidays even.
The Climate Clever Energy Savers program has provided a really different approach for teachers. No longer were we asking young people to engage in an environmental issue where that was presented as large, global scale, with all of those awful images that we quite often see in the media. Instead, we were asking young people to engage in an action learning approach where the context of them thinking about their own school, their own classroom, their own home, and the energy use, the appliances and ways and behaviours to reduce that energy use were the core. It actually provides young people with many points of entry into thinking about the problem, into identifying potential solutions, working out which is the best for that context, and then actually implementing it. And as you know, those projects were classroom-based or school-based, with the teacher support that the kids received, there was some really fantastic projects came about that had young people in charge.
3. Developing the proposal for action. Developing the statement, brief, describing an agreed direction for action. Preparing and communicating the proposal.
This web graph here shows us how much energy we use each month.
I can see we use energy even when we're not here.
This graph shows us how much electricity we use at different times.
Violet, I noticed that in January we are still using electricity even though for most of that time no one is here.
Now that we've made our assembly presentation, we look forward to seeing a difference in our energy consumption.
We're going to compare it to last month's electricity bill, which is $8,200.
Locating the investigations and action in the classroom and in the school is probably one of the most powerful elements of the Climate Clever Energy Savers. And when you see some of the examples of what kids have done, you'll see that they are in charge. They are developing the ideas, developing the solutions and putting them in place.
Our school has a big energy bill, but we can improve on that
By turning off the lights in the classroom, because doing the energy orbit, it turns out that all the classrooms can have the lights turned off because it doesn't strain our eyes.
I think the devices that use the most energy is things that heat and cool, like air conditioners and fridges.
The resources which underpin this program were fantastic for the children to be able to see what dirty energy really was.
Implementing the proposal, putting the proposal into action, monitoring and recording the implementation.
We made these posters for people to realise to turn off the electricity and the fans and lights so we can save power.
Okay, so we put thermometers in every classroom and posters next to them in every classroom. And my group did a speech on them, like how to tell the temperature and like when to turn on the aircon and when to turn on the heater.
Not only are we looking at trying to save energy and save costs, but we're also looking at educating students, and to me that's extremely important, that for future generations they're aware of ways that we can be more sustainable.
There have been some challenges for teachers as well. One of the ways that Climate Clever has supported teachers to learn, understand and then be able to teach that new material and to be able to teach the material through a new process was providing some professional learning support to those teachers through programs, through developing local networks and through developing a wiki. And on the wiki they I suppose showcase and can share some of their learning resources they've developed.
I liked the Climate Energy Saver resources. We were given them on a thumb drive, and there were lots of different programs for different levels. So we were able to find a program for the children that we teach that was comprehensive for them and that really suited their level.
Evaluating and reflecting. Evaluating the sustainability action, reflecting on the learning.
The way that my teaching has changed since engaging in this program would be just the way that I found the children retained the knowledge a lot more when they had immediate concrete examples of what we were talking about. And I think that's really important for maintaining long-term memory about whatever the topic is that we're doing, especially if it's quite complex. If they can remember a time when they have conducted an experiment or they've done something perhaps physically, then I think that the concept and the topic and the understanding just stays with them a lot longer.
We've got the whole community on board with us, which is a great thing to have, and they can actually see there's a real purpose to this program. It cuts across our various curriculum areas, so it's really that whole area of sustainability. We can honestly say here at Bexhill we're giving that a very big tick and we're giving it a really good go.
There's all sorts of fantastic stories that come out of this program. The parents get together and the P&C contribute to all sorts of initiatives that have been funded, seed funded by the program. And it builds a real momentum, which is exciting to see because this is change. This is culture change. This is where we want our kids to be going, to consider the future and to be positive agents towards making it a better future.
Rouse Public School purchased these solar panels that you see behind me for two main reasons. Initially we saw a power bill from the school and were quite shocked at how much it was, and it was decided at a Monday night meeting at 9:30 that we should look into providing a solar system for the school to reduce the power bill. And to cut a long story short, we looked into it, we did our numbers, and we figured out that it could halve the annual bill for Rouse Public School. The second reason was that we thought that having these solar panels in view all the kids playing in the playground was a really good opportunity for them to learn about climate change and efficient energy use and environmental responsibility. So we thought that the second spin-off to doing this was that the kids could really learn about environmental awareness and the carbon cycle and just caring for our environment.
It's amazing seeing some of the solutions that students come up with. There's fantastic ideas, everything from Power Rangers that run around at recess and lunch, turning things off and rewarding classes that have done the right thing with canteen vouchers and assembly awards, through to window tinting to reduce the need for air conditioning, shade trees to do the same sort of thing, insulation, whirlybirds in the roof. There's a variety of solutions that these kids have researched and developed themselves, which is the best part, just seeing the ownership of the process. It's a fantastic program. If you get a chance to be involved, you won't regret it. So much positive feedback from all the teachers and the students. I'd recommend it.
Wake up in the morning, listen to my warning about global warming. If you have a shower for half an hour, that's wasting power. We've shown the video at the Southern Cross University.
We also showed it at the Year 6 farewell last year. And at our festival called Music in the Valley. And it's also on YouTube and our school website.
As soon as the kids started to understand that they could make a difference, and as soon as they were monitoring what was going on in the school community, you could tell that they were going home and doing exactly the same thing at home. They became more aware than I was of what power was being used, and they became very vigilant about it. And there were times when I actually had to explain to them, it's okay to use power when you actually need it. It's wasting power that we don't want to do.